Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel where we make complex topics easy and engaging. Today we've got something exciting. It's like Capital Market 101. We'll be diving deep into part 1 of the Capital Markets Directive, so grab your virtual textbooks because class is in session. All right, let's start with the basics. Section 1, Preliminary. In this section, think of short title as the title of our exciting course, Demystifying Capital Markets Directive. It's the course name we'll proudly wear on our knowledge journey. Scope of application tells us where this course is relevant. It's like saying, this course is for all financial enthusiasts, investors, and aspiring stock market pros, and definitions is our glossary where we'll decode the language of capital markets. We'll discover the meaning behind terms like securities, registration, and underwriting. Moving on to the next chapter. Section 2, Registration of Securities. This is where we discuss the do's and don'ts when it comes to registering securities. It's a bit like traffic rules. You need to know what's allowed and what's not. Some securities are like the cool kids who don't need to follow all the registration rules. We'll find out which ones and why. It's a bit like having a fast pass at an amusement park. Once securities are registered, how can they be sold? It's like discussing the different ways you can trade or exchange your favorite collectibles. Want to register your securities? This part covers what paperwork you need to prepare. It's like the checklist for enrolling in our course. Just like you need specific qualifications to join some courses, companies have criteria for registering securities. This section outlines those prerequisites. Now, let's explore the special chapters in this part. Section 3, Registration Requirements for Emerging Growth Companies. This is for those companies that are like the young, rising stars of the business world. We'll discover what's special about them and how they can register their securities. Section 4, Registration of Bonus Shares. Host, imagine getting bonus marks on a test. This section explains how companies give bonus shares to their investors. It's like a rewards program for shareholders. Section 5, Registration Requirement for Convertible Debt. For those who are curious about the world of convertible debt, this section uncovers what companies need to do to get their debt securities registered. It's a bit like learning how to upgrade your regular movie ticket to a VIP pass. Ready for the next chapter? Section 6, Listing by Introduction of Shares. Picture this as a company's introduction to the stock market. It's like a company saying, "Hi world, we're here." We'll explore the exciting process of listing shares on a public exchange. But hold on, we've got more. Section 7, Fees. Every course comes with a price tag, and in this section we discuss the cost of our Capital Market 101 course. What's the price of entry into the world of capital markets? Section 8, Timeline for Processing of Application. Think of this part as the registration process for our course. We'll find out how long it takes for your application to be processed and approved. Let's get into some advanced topics. Section 9, Principles for Review of Registration Statement. Host, on-screen graphics, Principles for Review of Registration Statement. Just like we have guiding principles in our tutorial, there are principles for reviewing registration statements. These principles ensure that everything is in order, just like the rules for a fair competition. Section X, Approval of Registration by the Authority. Host, on-screen graphics, Approval of Registration by the Authority. After completing the Capital Market 101 course, companies need the authority's stamp of approval to become experts in capital markets. Think of it as receiving your graduation certificate. Host, now for our last chapters. Section 12, Rejection of Registration. Sometimes not everyone makes it. We'll learn why some registrations get rejected, just like understanding why some students might not pass a course. Section 12, Certificate of Registration. Host, on-screen graphics, Certificate of Registration. Imagine it's graduation day and companies are receiving their certificates. This section explains how they get their registration certificate, just like receiving a diploma after completing a course. Section 13, Transitional Provision. Host, on-screen graphics, Transitional Provision. This is like an extra support class for those who might need more time adjusting to the world of capital markets. It's designed to help them make a smooth transition. Host, and there you have it, a detailed overview of Part 1, Capital Market 101. But stay tuned because in our next video, we'll be exploring Part 2, and it's going to be just as exciting. So, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated. Absolutely. Let's continue our journey through the Capital Markets Directive with a detailed exploration of Part 2 in an engaging tutorial-like format. Part 2, Offer of Securities. Welcome back to our Capital Market 101 course. Part 2 is where things get exciting. It's like the practical application of all we learned in Part 1. Let's dive right in. Section 1, General. Eligibility. Imagine you're at an amusement park and some rides have height restrictions. In this section, we'll learn about eligibility criteria for entities that want to offer securities. It's like finding out who can ride the roller coaster. Prospectus requirement. Just like when you buy a ticket for a concert, there's a requirement for providing a prospectus before offering securities. We'll explore what a prospectus is and why it's essential. Appointment of an investment bank. Think of this as bringing in a concert organizer for your favorite band. We'll learn about the process of appointing an investment bank for underwriting and advisory services. It's like making sure the concert runs smoothly. Additional registration requirements. Some concerts have special rules. This section specifies additional requirements for entities offering securities. It's like understanding what's unique about a VIP concert experience. Exemption from obligation to issue a prospectus. Not all concerts need a ticket. We'll explore the conditions under which entities might be exempt from issuing a prospectus. It's like finding out which events are free to attend. Form and content of a prospectus. Just like a concert poster with all the details, this section describes the format and content that should be included in the prospectus. It's like understanding what's on the event flyer. Incorporation by reference. Sometimes concerts refer to past events. We'll see how information can be incorporated by reference into the prospectus. It's like looking back at previous concert lineups. Persons responsible for prospectus. Imagine the band members introducing themselves. This part identifies the individuals or entities responsible for the content and accuracy of the prospectus. It's like knowing who's performing at the concert. Expert statement in a prospectus. Just like when a band's manager shares their success story, we'll cover expert opinions included in the prospectus, such as financial forecasts. It's like hearing about the band's future plans. Omission from prospectus. Not every detail needs to be on the concert poster. This part clarifies what information may be omitted from the prospectus. It's like understanding what's not on the event flyer. Review of prospectus. Just like event organizers check the concert's details, this section details the review process for the prospectus by regulatory authorities. It's like making sure the concert setup is perfect. Advertisement. Concerts need promotion. This part addresses regulations related to advertising and promoting the securities offering. It's like the band's promotional campaign. Section 2, Shelf Registration. Eligibility. Think of this as the exclusive VIP pass to a concert. We'll specify the eligibility criteria for entities to use shelf registration. Transaction size requirement. Some concerts are grand and others are more intimate. We'll define the size requirements for transactions using shelf registration. It's like knowing whether it's a stadium show or a small venue. Validity of a shelf registration. Just like concert tickets have an expiration date, we'll explore how long a shelf registration remains valid. It's like knowing how long your concert ticket is good for. Requirement for shelf prospectus and pricing supplement. Different concerts may have different ticket types. We'll detail the content requirements for shelf prospectuses and pricing supplements. It's like understanding what's included in VIP packages. Contents of a shelf prospectus and pricing supplement. Just like knowing what's inside a VIP package, we'll specify the information to be included in shelf prospectuses and pricing supplements. It's like discovering what's in the VIP bundle. Publication of shelf prospectus. It's like making the VIP packages available to fans. This section addresses how shelf prospectuses are made available to the public. That's our detailed overview of Part 2, where we explore the practical aspects of offering securities in the capital markets. It's like moving from theory to real-world applications. We'll be back soon with more exciting chapters in this Capital Market 101 journey. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated. In this session of Capital Market 101, we're going to continue our exciting journey through the Capital Markets Directive. Get ready, because we're diving deep into Part 3 all the way to Part 7. It's like a 5-in-1 concert with different acts. Host. All right, let's groove to the rhythm of Part 3. Part 3, Debt Securities. Host, on-screen graphics. Section 1, General. In this part, we're exploring the fascinating world of debt securities. Imagine it as learning about different genres of music. Applicability. Think of this as choosing the right genre of music. This part explains when debt securities come into play and why. Eligibility. Just like admission criteria for a concert, we'll learn who's eligible to participate in the debt securities concert. General requirements. Every concert has some ground rules. We'll discuss the basic requirements for issuing debt securities. It's like understanding the basic setup for our concert stage. Rating requirements. Imagine rating your favorite song. This section covers the requirements for credit ratings when issuing debt securities. It's like knowing how songs are reviewed and rated. Additional registration requirements for debt securities. Sometimes, certain concerts have specific rules for entry. We'll explore any extra registration requirements for debt securities. It's like understanding the special conditions for attending a particular concert. Other requirements, just like some concerts have unique features, will uncover any additional rules and requirements for debt securities. It's like knowing about special guest appearances at a concert. Host, let's keep the music playing as we move to Part 4. Part 4, Cross-Border Securities Transactions. In this part, we're taking our music festival international. It's like experiencing different musical traditions. Offer of securities made outside of Ethiopia. Think of this as inviting international artists to perform at our concert. We'll explore the rules for offering securities from outside Ethiopia. It's like welcoming international musicians to our stage. Host, ready for the next track? Here's Part 5. Part 5. Ongoing information disclosure obligations. It's time to learn how to keep the rhythm going in our concert. Timely disclosure of information. Just like ensuring the music doesn't stop, we'll discuss timely disclosure of information related to securities. It's like maintaining the tempo of the concert. Method of disclosure. This is how we spread the word about our concert. We'll explore different methods of information disclosure. System of internal controls. Imagine the backstage crew making sure everything runs smoothly. In this part, we'll cover the internal controls to ensure compliance with ongoing disclosure obligations. Host, let's keep the show rolling with Part 6. Part 6, Trading in Securities. Now it's time to get into the groove of trading securities. Prohibition. It's like knowing the dance moves that are allowed during the concert. We'll specify what activities are prohibited in relation to trading in securities. Suspension and delisting. Just like deciding when to cut the music, we'll explore the procedures and circumstances for suspending or delisting securities. Disclosure of interest by interested persons. This is like letting the audience know about the artists behind the scenes. We'll address the disclosure of interests by individuals or entities involved in securities trading. Market manipulation. Imagine someone trying to disrupt the concert atmosphere. This section covers regulations against market manipulation practices. Prohibition against insider dealing. We'll explore prohibitions against insider trading practices, just like ensuring everyone plays by the same rules. Host. And now for our grand finale, Part 7. Part 7. Enforcement and sanctions. Administrative measures. It's time to wrap up our concert with some encore performances. Compliance. This part is all about ensuring that everyone follows the concert rules, or in this case, the directive. Penalties and others. Like a concert security team, we'll discuss the penalties and other enforcement measures to keep the event running smoothly. And there you have it, folks. We've covered Part 3 through Part 7 of the Capital Markets Directive. It's like experiencing a whole music festival with different genres, international acts, ongoing performances, trading rules, and a grand finale. Host, thanks for joining us today. Class dismissed, and we'll see you in the next session of Capital Market 101.